Let's go. We are back. This is Effort and Attitude volume. We don't talk about no more. So we just jump in because effort and attitude is what you can control. So, point number one. If you've ever been to an orchestra where it's a bunch of strings and that number one chair, everyone knows is number one. That chair has probably 2 to at best 3 backups. That third backup is always on call. They don't even come to the rehearsals or practice. They are expected to have it already down if they're ever called. And I'm like, wow, that's no different than an F.A.I.L. But what it became apparent to me in the orchestra family versus the athletic family, the expectation of being the number one chair versus people coming after the number one chair, they know. And people who come after the number one chair know that they may not ever get a shot at the number one chair because there's a long line, baby. So get behind it. And if you are just in the building, if you are playing, you are elite. You are part of a group of people who cannot make or get over to that side of the race, okay? So she's like, wow, you know how good you have to be first chair? To be able to have to hold the first chair when people are coming at you from every direction? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And so do you. And so what am I getting at? Coach, what are you getting at? What I'm getting at is if you're a first chair, you can't worry about who's coming after you. All you got to worry about is doing what gets you into the first chair. Because what also I learned is the first chair is only slotted for a certain amount of window. Because even if you make first chair through the whole season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, they get a new chair. Just because. They want it fresh. They don't want it to get stale. So recognize that, hey, have you held your chair for a long time and you sustained it? And now it's time for you to take your viola and go home? Take your ball and go home? Sometimes that's the case. In other cases, it's not. And if you lose your chair, it's because you was worried about who was coming after you. I'm just saying, because they don't play athletics. They play instruments. And so if my daughter got it, I'm sure you get it. And I'm sure if you get it, coach got it. And so remember, if you are first chair, operate as first chair. And if you're coming at first chair, don't come weak because there's a long line. You're going to hold up the process of us getting this show on the road on Broadway because everybody think they are ready to be in first chair. You're not. If you were, they would have got you in the first chair and said, hey, we want you to try to compete for first chair this year. They would have told you. And here, coach, well, what about the coaches who don't like me or the coaches get overlooked? That's true. So I want to empower you and say, if you feel like you're ready for first chair, which I learned in this show that we watched, they have all right to come into the lead person or the leader of the orchestra, come in there and say, hey, I want to compete for the lead cello chair. And so they look at them. Do you now? Now, I want you to understand that resume supports them wanting the challenge for that first chair. So ain't no geek off the street coming in for first chair. So start that out. Get that in your mind. And so they look at it, okay, you got the resume for first chair. But unfortunately, you got to wait until next season because we already had that first chair competition and you weren't on the list. Now, here's what I've learned in the grand scheme of it. They don't even trip. Most cases, they even know that they're going to get told no, but they want to be put on the radar. They want to be put on the list. And here's the best thing. They getting put on the list knowing they're not ready yet. Look, I've only been to so many orchestras in my day. I have yet to even take my children to one. But I'm telling you, that first chair competition in music and that string, the string bands, the orchestra is as real as it gets. it is the NFL, and that means not for long. So as you complain about the competition that coach is setting up and you think is unfair, trust me, it's people who are not colliding into each other and they understand the rules of the chair. Do you? Until next time, control what you can control. And if you in first chair, control it, baby. Peace.